What's up, guys? This is the Honest Outlaw here, and today we are going to be talking about the top 5 guns from the John Wick franchise. Not just movie 1, not just movie 2, or even 3. We're going to talk about the best guns out of the entire series.
Would you help set the mood for our new guest?
Let us begin.
So if you haven't seen my channel before, I review lots of firearms. I review several per week, and I've owned dozens and dozens and dozens over my lifetime. I've also had the pleasure of owning quite a few of the guns that have actually been in the movies, and I know how they handle in the real world as opposed to just on screen. We're going to be basing the categories of these guns based on how good they are in real life, how reliable they are, how accurate they are, and how cool they look on screen, and how they'd handle in the real world situations that John Wick finds himself in. Now, I know that John Wick finds himself in some unrealistic situations, to say the least. One guy versus 50 generally doesn't work out that way in the real world. However, if I was presented with that situation, which one of these firearms would I like? That's kind of how we're going to judge it here in this video. I want to thank my Patreon supporters. YouTube has recently 100% demonetized my channel, so I really appreciate your support now more than ever. If you become a supporter, the link is in the description below. You'll have access to Patreon-only content, and you'll have access to the monthly giveaway. This month's giveaway is going to be the K-Bar TDI knife. I also want to mention I've got some links in the description below, Amazon links, Olight links, and a link to a local homeless shelter, which I try to support as much as possible. Go down there to the description and check those out. Now, one thing that makes John Wick so cool, it's really a movie made for gun guys. A lot of times, especially in the 80s, 90s, stuff like that, you're gonna have movies that were action movies, sure, but they were so unrealistic that it's kind of hard to get into them. Where John Wick takes a little bit more realism, especially with the gun handling and choices of firearms. They actually brought in Taron Butler, who's a very well-known firearms trainer and multiple-time 3-gun champion, one of the best shooters in the world, and they not only took his advice on training Keanu so he looks the part, and he did many, many hours of actual firearms training, which makes the footage seem so realistic.
Service is still off limits to me. What do you need? Guns. Lots of guns.
Now let's start this list out with number 5, the Benelli M4 shotgun. Not only is the Benelli M4 shotgun maybe one of the coolest shotguns you can see on the silver screen, it's also a pretty excellent firearm in real life. The Benelli M4 is a semi-automatic 12-gauge shotgun. 5 rounds from the factory, however, John Wick's from TTI holds 7 rounds. It has an 18-inch barrel, comes in at around 8 pounds. It has ghost ring sights, and it runs an auto-regulating gas system with a self-cleaning piston, making it one of, if not the most reliable semi-automatic shotgun on the market. That's one of the reasons why the Marines have used it for the past 15 years. The one in John Wick happens to be the Taron Tactical version, which is upgraded with a light and bolt carrier, a trigger job, an extractor and barrel modification, a new shell lifter making reloads a little bit faster, a tuned and polished shell latch, and forearm and stock stippling, making it easy to handle in case your hands are wet.
Custom bolt carrier release and charging handle. Textured grips, should your hands get wet. An Italian classic.
And one of the things they do in movies traditionally is you've got a shotgun that only holds 5 rounds, yet somehow they're shooting 90 zombies with it without reloading. One of the detriments to shotguns is that they have a very light magazine capacity, and you have to reload them all the time, and I really liked how they showed the proper technique and the proper amount of shells you can shoot through a gun in John Wick 2. In at number 4, we are going to have the Taron Tactical TR1, which is an 11.5-inch BCM AR-15 with a Trijicon AccuPoint 1-6 mounted on top of it for a little bit of added versatility. It's not just a standard BCM 11.5, it also has a muzzle brake, an ion bonded bolt carrier for a little bit more reliability and durability, a Voltor stock, TTI base pads adding extra capacity. Trijicon 1-6 allows you to engage really well from close range or from really far away, and it also happens to have a very lightweight key mod rail system on it, which was cutting edge a few years ago when John Wick 2 came out, because not only is it lightweight, but it allows you to add accessories that you might want if you're in a lot of gunfights, like a weapon light, for example.
AR-15. 11.5-inch compensated with an iron-bonded bolt carrier.
BCM makes super quality AR-15s. It's going to be extremely reliable, thousands of rounds downrange without any type of malfunction. BCM has had rifles that have gone 60,000 rounds with no issues, and even 20,000 rounds with very little cleaning. A very lightweight, very fast, very accurate rifle that's also extremely reliable. It happens to be compact enough to fight in close quarters. It also is going to be powerful enough, significantly more powerful than a handgun cartridge, and it can take care of those bad guys very quickly. I think out of all the guns on this list, it is the most practical for an actual gunfight, which is why special ops type of guys, Delta, Navy SEALs, all opt for a 10.5 or 11.5 for their standard duty weapon, because it's very versatile and it does a really good job at what it's intended to do. Now, one of the drawbacks to this particular rifle, especially if you're in the mindset of John Wick, is the fact that it's not as concealable as some of the other guns that are going to be a little bit higher on the list. Now, it is going to have a little bit more firepower, it's going to be a little more accurate. However, if you don't have it on you, it doesn't really matter. And since John Wick is an assassin and he's not an actual soldier, he's going to need some guns on him all the time because he's constantly being ambushed, and he also has to be able to conceal that firepower on him all the time. So in at number 3, the TTI STI 2011 Combat Master. This gun is a 1911 style double stack 9mm. It has a 5.4 inch match grade barrel, Combat Master slide cuts, a fiber optic front sight, one of the best sights possible for quick sight engagement. It has an extended slide release, extended mag release, and it has a 1.7 pound trigger pull, making it extremely fast and extremely accurate. It also has a grip job, and it has 4 22 round magazines right from the factory. Now, the 2011 is the most popular gun in competitive shooting for a reason. Not only can 2011s be extremely reliable, they're also very fast, very accurate. The 2011 has the best trigger, the 1911-2011, has the best trigger of any gun on the market. And since trigger control is your biggest detriment when you're trying to make fast and accurate shots, having an easy trigger like a 2011 is almost like a cheat code. I really like the choice that they had there, and that is from the movie John Wick 3.
May I suggest the 2011 Combat Master in combination with the 9mm Major?
The Taran Tactical 2011 was a great choice for John Wick because it is probably the fastest and most accurate gun that you can carry on you underneath a suit jacket. And if you're going to be able to conceal speed and accuracy, that is a really good choice. The downside of the 2011, and the reason why it's only at number 3, is because it doesn't have a track record of reliability like number 1 and number 2, and it's also not quite as lightweight. Being as it's around 46 ounces, it would be a heck of a gun to carry on you all day. Now, in at number 2, we are going to have another Taran Tactical gun. What a weird coincidence that is. It is going to be the Taran Tactical Glock 34 from John Wick 2. 34 is John Wick's main sidearm throughout the movie, and he gets it from the tasting scene in Italy.
I know of your past fondness for the German varietals, but I can wholeheartedly endorse the new breed of Austrians.
Now, the reason why it comes in at number 2 is because the 34 has a lot of features that people really like, especially tactical guys and competitive shooting guys. Number 1, it's a Glock, so it's one of the most reliable pistols on the market. It has easy access to magazines. The magazines are very cheap, so you can carry many of them. Also, it happens to be very fast and accurate and very easy to customize to yourself. Glock aftermarket accessories are very vast, and whatever sights, trigger you want, you can put on the Glock 34, and the Taran Tactical is no exception. It comes with all the best possible accessories right from the factory. The Taran Tactical comes with an ion-bonded bronze barrel, competitive trigger job coming in at around 3 pounds, which is about half the standard weight of the original Glock. It has a full wrap stippling job, competition magwell, fiber optic sights.
Recontoured grips, flared magwell for easier reloads, and I know you'll appreciate the custom porting.
Now, the advantages to the Glock 34 that it has over the 2011, in my opinion, is that number 1, it's extremely light. Coming in with a 5.5-inch barrel, same as the 2011, so very similar accuracy. It comes in at about half the weight, at about 25 ounces, making it very easy to carry all day. And if you were John Wick, I would certainly want a gun on me all day if I was being attacked by assassins left and right. The other thing that it has the reliability and track record of Glock. Glock is one of the most reliable guns on the market, and it's a reason why a lot of people that are in law enforcement or military use that gun to protect their life, because it's just a very trusted name and a very trusted firearm. Now for some quick honorable mentions. The CA-415, which is an American clone of the HK-416 from the original John Wick movie. The KSG-12 from the original John Wick movie. The MPX from SIG from John Wick 3. Now finally, number one, and I really don't think it could be anything else. It is the HK P30L from the first John Wick movie. His gun throughout the entire first movie, and it's really the gun that made the franchise famous. It's not stock, but it's not as customized as some of the guns in the later movie. It does have a trigger job, and it does have a custom compensator made specifically for the movie that you can't buy. However, you can buy a very close version of that compensator from HK Parts, and I happen to own the P30, and I happen to own that compensator as well, so I do have lots of experience. Now the HK P30L is his original sidearm that he digs up from his basement after Theon kills his dog.
John will come for you. You will do nothing because you can do nothing.
It is a full-size, lightweight, polymer-frame double-action pistol with a 4.5-inch barrel, and it comes with 3 15-round magazines. It's a very accurate LEM double-action style trigger. It comes with great luminescent sights and is extremely reliable and made to be bomb-proof by a company known to make bomb-proof guns. HK has specialized for the last 30 or 40 years in making guns specifically for military use, and on top of that, specifically for special operations, usually designed by people in the special operations community. Like the Glock 34, it comes in at a very lightweight 27 ounces, making it very easy to control and carry. It also has ambidextrous controls, and the custom compensator will make it very fast, shooting at distance and up close. To add on to the customization, the HK P30 actually has grip panels and grip inserts to make it probably the most customizable gun to fit your hand. The best part about the HK P30, in my opinion though, is that not only is it on par with the other handguns on the list, it won't actually break the bank. The Taran Tactical 2011 comes in at around $4,000 to $5,000. The Glock 34 comes in at around $2,000 to $3,000 depending on what version you get, but the HK P30L you can get yourself for around $600. And the actual compensator that you can add to the bottom of the gun is only about $200, making that entire package for the John Wick gun right around $800. And for a practicality standpoint, that is one of the reasons why I had to put it at number one, because if you're looking to buy a super cool gun from the John Wick franchise to enjoy shooting at your own range, it's a lot easier to get a hold of the HK P30 than it's going to be the Taran Tactical 2011 or the Taran Tactical Glock 34. It made the franchise possible. It's just as reliable, just as accurate, as lightweight or lighter weight, and it comes in at a much lower price, making it my number one choice for the best John Wick gun. Let me know in the comment section below what you think the best John Wick gun is, and we can compare our list down below in the comment section. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. Please help out your local homeless shelters, and remember to recycle. I'll check you later.
You think you can take John Wick? You got a nasty surprise coming.